So over the weekend, acting as Donald Trump's hype person at a speech in Rome, Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Greene told the audience that when President Biden saw her at the State of the Union wearing the MAGA cap, he was just so scared of her because liberals are just so afraid of the MAGA hat. I mean, keep living in your own fantasy world, Marjorie Taylor Greene and MAGAs. When President Biden saw you at the State of the Union, he looked at you the way an adult would look at a little child wearing a Halloween costume and saying, "Oh, wow, very cool. Oh, what are you wearing there, Marjorie Taylor Greene?" Let me just play that clip before I share with you what Marjorie Taylor Greene said at the speech over the weekend so you can see just how pathetic she is. But first, this was from the State of the Union. First, let me give you this angle. Play this clip.
Look over here, Mr. President. Mr. President.
And let me give it to you from another angle, a little closer up right here. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President. Look over here, Mr. President. Mr. President.
Yeah, President Biden was not afraid of you. President Biden was delicately treating you the way you probably deserve to be treated in that circumstance. Whoa, Marjorie, you're here at the State of the Union wearing a Trump 2020 red hat and you're dressed in your cosplay gear. Whoa. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said during her speech. Play this clip.
You know, you guys saw that video of Joe Biden when he saw me this week at the State of the Union. This is the hat I had on. There's nothing that scares them worse than a MAGA hat.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene during this speech, if you even want to call it that, I guess it's degrading to speeches to say that's what she's doing. She then makes her stump speech a referendum on January 6th and saying that January 6th was a good thing. Play this clip.
And now our Department of Justice and FBI has been weaponized against pro-life protesters, parents wanting to hold their school boards accountable, Catholics attending Latin Mass, and election protesters that showed up to the Capitol on January 6th because we said our elections matter and they should be safe and fair.
By the way, that's consistent with her and Donald Trump's messages. Marjorie Taylor Greene giving another speech quite recently where she talked about how the insurrectionists are actually great people. Play this clip.
We need Republicans that will not waver. Here we are. Here's a man sitting next to us that went to jail over our election integrity. This is the day we live in. Every single day on average, there's another person arrested for January 6th. Do you know that? Yes. Every single day, a new person is arrested and charged with all kinds of crimes for either standing on the Capitol grounds or walking through the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah, and Donald Trump, of course, sings songs with them, and he's replaced our national anthem with the J6th song. And Donald Trump begins his traveling fascist circus events by having the audience pledge allegiance to the insurrectionists, and then he plays the J6th anthem. Play this clip.
They've done to people. You heard the hostages singing. That was hostages. They're the J6 hostages, I call them, because they are hostages. They're policemen, they're firemen, they're accountants. They're lawyers in some cases. They're put in jail for extended periods of time, for very long periods of time. They're hostages. You heard them singing. You heard the spirit that they had? The spirit is unbelievable. That song became the #1 song.
Sorry, I digressed there for a second, but then Marjorie Taylor Greene starts talking about election conspiracies. I know Axios wants to say, they've toned down the rhetoric. No, these people are maniacs. Here, play this clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You're not going to tell me that Trump didn't win Georgia.
And one final point I want to talk about here. You know how, I guess, the new MAGA thing is, one, they were saying, President Biden's speech was so good, he must be on drugs. He was too fiery. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, and when he was in office, they turned the White House into a pill mill with fentanyl patches and Versed and ketamine and hydrocodone and Xanax mixed with alcohol. And we see, one page from 1 month has massive amounts of drugs. That was one of the things that they were accusing President Biden of, because it's all projection and confession. The other thing that they're saying is, oh, President Biden, you called Lincoln Riley, and therefore, you know, that's offensive, or whatever it is they're trying to say there. Well, here, Marjorie Taylor Greene admits that the name she told President Biden to say was actually Lincoln Riley. She says it. Just listen carefully to what she says. Play the clip.
You know, we've all been questioning his mental capacity, and he had this pen in his hand. I had given it to him as he walked down the aisle, and when I yelled out at him and I said, say her name, Lincoln Riley, he picked up the pen, and he had it right there. It's easy to read, Lakin, but he said Lincoln Riley.
That's in her words, folks, so... Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene, keep making a fool of yourself. Let everybody know that the Republican Party is the party of Trump, and Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert, and perhaps if you say Beetlejuice 3 times, y'all will just go away. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Thank you for watching. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 3 million subs thanks to your support. Have a good one.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.